What a Catch, Part 99, a Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction. If you have not heard the previous 98 parts of this story, you can find a link to them in the description box below. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to stay up to date on the latest stories of this channel. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below in support. Marinette was calm. Calmer than she should be, at least, for getting ready to be bait for the love of her life and an evil mastermind who was a certifiable terrorist. Maybe it was the peach-scented blush Chloe made her wear, or the lucky lipstick she swore by, but the world seemed to move in slow motion for her tonight. Alia was in and out, dropping off a bracelet for her to wear before running off to the bathroom to get herself ready. The strange serenity of the moment broke when Nathaniel came to her doorstep to pick her up, but it still felt like she was an observer to her story, perhaps floating in a dream. She said her polite hellos to various figureheads in the design and model community while enjoying hors d'oeuvres and turning down the champagne floating around. There was still no sign of Adrien, but the night was young. Nathaniel was undoubtedly a gentleman of an escort, politely leading her through conversations with his associates and giving her an extra hand when she needed one. If she hadn't had the privilege of knowing what it was like to be pursued by Adrien Agreste, he would be her ideal man. Marinette heard the crowd gasp and turned to look at the commotion. Her heart jumped up to her throat, and she instinctively took a step in front of Nathaniel to protect him. Upon the banister sat Cat Noir, playing with a flower he plucked from the garland. Only it wasn't Cat Noir. The outfit, although leather, wasn't as she remembered it. The bell was gone, and the design was different, sporting buckles down one shoulder and spikes on the other. The trademark bell that she liked to play with was gone, replaced by a choker of leather. Was this the akumatized Adrien? Marinette had to admit she was a little disappointed. Oh, great. My husband's an idiot. She turned around to see Alia facepalm before looking back. Sure enough, it was Nino at the top of the stairs, taking full advantage of the ring Adrien sent to New York. What was he up to?
He's nothing like the original, don't you think?
The hair on Marinette's neck stood up, and she turned around with her guard up. She gasped as Adrien Agreste made eye contact, leaning back slightly like a model while swirling a drink in his hand. The gray suit he wore was foul play, framing his shoulders and drawing attention to his chest. Of the three standard responses, fight, flight, or freeze, Marinette's body did the latter. She froze.
It's a shame,
Adrien continued, stepping towards her.
I really did like the bell.
What are you? Marinette began, her heart racing. He was here. He looked fine. Was all their worry in vain? Did Lila and Chloe have it wrong? Surely he wasn't akumatized. She flinched away as he reached for her shoulder. If he was akumatized, there was no telling how his powers worked. If it were the same as Akuma victims of the past, he'd have to touch her to wipe her memory.
Relax, he said. I'm not here to fight.
I hope you aren't insulted by me saying I can't trust you.
That's fair.
Adrien took another step closer.
Especially considering you don't know what my powers are.
The distance between them was alarming. If she raised her arms, they could be dancing, two lovers against the world. Surely it wouldn't be as easy as asking you what they are.
For you, my lady, it is.
Her lungs lost air as he held her gaze, realizing their fingers were intertwined before she had a chance to pull away. So, what else is there, besides wiping memories?
I can plant false ones to an extent.
And?
Because my powers had so long to mature, I don't need to touch someone to make it happen.
What else?
Are you asking if I have any other skills?
You haven't given me anything I couldn't guess already.
You've always been a smart one, Bugaboo. Adrien sighed. It's a shame I can't disobey Hawkmoth's orders.
What happens if you try?
I can't show you that.
Why?
It would break you to see me in that state.
So you've tried? There's hope?
Only if you stop me, Marinette.
Her senses picked up on danger a fraction of a second too late. She tried to jump back, startled, but his grasp was firm. She tugged, feeling his nails dig in until blood trickled to the surface, proving there was a difference between him and her Adrien. He would never hurt her like this, regardless of how small it was. Marinette ran scenarios in her head, trying to figure out the best way to get away from the crowd. She knew the first target would be her earrings, but after that, she didn't know Hawkmoth's end game.
Hey, look at me! I'm Cat Noir!
Her thoughts were interrupted by Nino Noir's shout, followed by what sounded like a body hitting the floor. She didn't dare look away from Adrien, but she was curious as to what was going on. "Nobody pay attention to my husband," she heard Alia say. "He's wine drunk and found an old Halloween costume in the trunk."
Did not.
Come on, hun. You look ridiculous.
Why? Just because I don't have a bell?
It's been a while, man.
How are you doing?
He asked, extending his hand to Adrien. Marinette waited for the gesture to return, but to no avail. Her boyfriend stepped away from her date, leaving the two of them to stand there, mouths open, gawking at his rudeness. "I'm sorry," Marinette said. "He's not himself today."
"There's no need for you to apologize, Mare," Nathaniel began. "He's a grown man."
"Even so..."
"Come on."
He put a hand on her shoulder.
"At least let me escort you to the hors d'oeuvres. I am your date for the night, after all."
Marinette shifted as he made small talk, glancing around the room for her once partner. Where did he go? Was he hiding, or had he left and she missed her chance? What was Hawkmoth's next step?
"So, what are you going to do?"
Nathaniel's question tuned her back into reality. "I'm sorry?"
"It's a yes or no question. Some people think it's more difficult than that, but I disagree."
Yes." Marinette nodded and did a final visual check of the floor, dismissing his comment. She needed higher ground if she wanted any chance of finding Adrien before he found her again. As she went up the staircase, she noticed Alia lecturing Nino Noir in the corner as people pretended not to stare. She wished she could afford the time to laugh at the scene, but her senses were telling her to hurry. Something about the night seemed off, starting with Adrien. What was it? What was the one detail she missed? Oh. No. Nathaniel's bracelet. Adrien saw it when he extended his hand and left shortly after. She thought it was because she had company. But what if Adrien recognized the miraculous on his wrist and changed plans? Marinette heard screams from behind her and whipped around to see a man in a white leather suit, similar to the authentic Cat Noir, right down to the bell, pinning Nathaniel to the ground. It was Adrien. Well, not Adrien as Adrien, but Cat Blanc. Cat Blanc was here, and so were innocent bystanders. It was showtime. Thank you so much for listening. Part 100 is on its way. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos for more fanfiction. I'll catch you next time.